Imagine having to seal off an entire empire from northern invaders. Mountain ridges that used to be open, frontiers are now stone barriers. Your farmland on the outer steppe of the realm unreachable, and the nomad across the ridge that you used to trade with daily, you will perhaps never speak to him again. The Great Wall of China did exactly that, separating the Middle Kingdom and steppe tribes for over 2,000 years. Living along the northern frontier before the unified wall was built was a fluid existence. You could move around the borderlands freely, but you were either a northern nomad or a southern farmer. After centuries of war, the victorious Qin Dynasty had consolidated the Chinese landscape into a single empire. The northern steppe zone ultimately remained the territory of nomadic confederations, a pastoral society, and the southern part of the region belonged to dynastic China, an agrarian state nomadism, and farming, two different lifestyles and two different economies separated by mountain ranges. Trade posts connecting the different parts of the border would host market exchanges. Many people lived in one environment, but traded across the frontier. Southern farmers brought grain and silk to the border in order to benefit from northern horses and livestock. In the 3rd century, China woke up to a guarded frontier. The Qin Emperor consolidated the northern border, which means that open trade corridors were now regulated, though officially stating that this was necessary to secure the realm. It was an effort to stop northern nomadic armies from raiding into the south. Dramatic raids along the frontier were widely recorded in Chinese history, and for the imperial authorities, the main lesson learned was to strengthen the border over the course of centuries. The wall was consistently upgraded with more and more defensive security features. What once was a series of disconnected earthworks soon became a massive military defense line cutting across the landscape. As tactics on the steppe evolved, border defenses shifted to new methods, and the wall would be expanded again, a process that was repeated until the last major version of the wall was built. The version of the wall that became famous from 1368. During the Ming Dynasty, the imperial authorities rolled out this version of the wall, a barrier designed to be virtually impossible for a horse-riding army to cross. And this is how it generally worked, coming from the north. Only the formidable outer-facing wall, made of fitted stone and fired brick, can be seen. This was done so that garrison positions and inner walkways were not visible from below, as this knowledge could be used by raiders to plan surprise attacks at vulnerable points along the ridge behind this outer facade. The wall rose straight up from steep terrain, making direct climbing or scaling with ladders extremely difficult. Watchtowers were garrisoned by groups of soldiers stationed around the clock. These soldiers had a clear view of the surrounding terrain, with orders to repel any attacking forces from the towers. Trying to use battering rams or breach weapons at pass gates would not work easily either, as strategic openings were protected by heavy iron-reinforced gates and secondary enclosure walls barring enemies from forcing an entry into the interior. In the middle of this defensive system is a wide paved walkway along the top of the wall, allowing troops and supply carts to march rapidly to any threatened sector, where in later periods, light gunpowder artillery was sometimes deployed. And behind the parapets was a sheltered corridor stretching for miles across the mountain peaks. In full view of the command towers, hiding near the wall was nearly impossible, and if an enemy somehow managed to reach the parapet, they faced crenellated battlements with narrow embrasures designed specifically to protect defenders. In contrast to earlier exposed earthen walls, these Ming-era sections were built with durable stone and brick, facing over rammed earth cores, which meant they were far better suited to withstand the elements. And instead of simple soil mounds on top, there were now stone battlements and stone drainage channels. These structures provided protection for defenders, and the Ming authorities also knew they would withstand heavy weather and siege attempts better than previous walls.